Helena.
Hi, I'm Lizzie.
And together we're the Oddbot Fellows. Today we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones. We're finally 5 episodes in, so we have 5 episodes left. It is the mid-season roundup.
And we have a lot of ground to cover, so let's just get right into it. First of all, cheers. I am drinking this review.
I'm not.
Because, as stated in our last video, I won the bet between Helena and I on whether Jon Snow was dead.
He was dead.
He was dead. He didn't stay dead though.
He came back.
He did. Some shaving, some washing.
Yeah. Cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah, perked him right up.
Yeah. Surprisingly, because he's like just snapped back into it. Like, sure, he doesn't want to be commander and whatever.
True,
you know, he's given his life already. Fair point.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised he isn't a little.
Yeah, I wanted a bit more. I wanted a bit more darkness. Yeah. But still early days. There's still 5 more episodes to go. And
he can totally get there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the both of us are expecting the entire season to kind of lead up to the big battle between the Starks and the Boltons, like Bastard Ball. Yeah. Hopefully Ramsay will die, but we'll get to Ramsay because Ramsay continues to be the worst.
yeah, pretty much.
But first, something happy.
Oh yes, yes. Because along with Jon and the rest of the Night's Watch, we have the wildlings who've been introduced, and we also have newcomer Brienne. And there is a certain wildling with a lovely red beard who's taking a liking to Brienne.
Yeah,
and it makes me so happy.
I actually did not think that Game of Thrones was. I mean, like, Tyrion is witty, but this is like hilarious.
Laugh out loud. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god, so good.
It's so good. And with so little as well, like, it's just a few facial expressions and like 30 seconds in each frame, and you have to look carefully to find so much respect and adoration in one look. Yeah, like, the wall is surprisingly full of glad tidings this season. And I mean, let's get into Sansa and her reunion with Jon.
He's back.
Exactly. Sansa is back in the game, and I still love her. And she's also the source of kind of some nice, heartwarming family moments that we have not seen in a really long time between her and Jon. And it's that scene, man.
It was a good
where they just talked it out. That was just I'm very emotionally invested in the Stark family, as are we all. But having said that, I'm still angry about Sansa's storyline because literally nothing I have seen this season kind of justified her going through all of that shit in season 5. It's just kind of like she did not need the extra motivation. I mean, she kind of already hated the Boltons.
She was pissed. Yeah.
They killed off her family, so why did she have to go marry him?
Exactly.
I mean, I would have loved them to stay and explore her relationship with Littlefinger, which is so much more interesting in what was going on with Ramsay, and a lot less, well, maybe not a lot less emotionally scarring, but at least a little less emotionally scarring.
I love how sort of when she's having a go at Littlefinger, she kind of touches on that. It's like a weird like meta, like, do the writers know that we're all mad about this? Because she just goes like, you took me from one monster and gave me to another monster, and it's like, that's exactly what happened. You were already with a monstrous guy. That was the whole point of, what, season 4 or whatever. Fine, you got out of that. Why are we backpedaling?
Yeah, exactly. It's so frustrating.
It was weird and pointless, and now she's teamed up with Brienne and Pod and Jon, and it's great, and it's wonderful, and we all love that dynamic, but she could have done that, like, 12 episodes ago, and it still would have made sense.
It just kind of like seems such a weird add-on to her storyline, that season 5 arc, which just did not make any sense from a narrative point of view, from a motivational point of view, or in any kind of point of view. Really.
And I feel like it doesn't even, because then there are the people who are like, oh, well, we needed like we the viewers needed that motivation to really hate Ramsay and like to build up precisely for the bastard bowl, you know, and so that Jon would have like a really good reason to fuck him up. And it's like, well, we knew Ramsay was an asshole.
Yeah.
He's still an asshole.
Yeah.
Buried, burned. This is good meat. Feed it to the hounds.
Alright, Ramsay.
Yeah.
Wow. Such an interesting character.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Almost as great as Tormund.
I know.
I can just tell him, oh, my heart burns for him. No. He is boring as fuck. And he still has gone nowhere. He's plateaued in like this predictable, villainous character.
Yeah.
That we just, like, come on, man. It's lazy writing. I don't even want to say lazy acting, because I'm sure he does what he can with the material, but, like, give us something else. We know he's a sadist. We know he's a jerk. We know that he wants to go for, like, the ultimate power play. And so what they do is, like, paint this completely one-dimensional character, and then everyone around him, who's actually sort of half-decent, like his father.
Well, he's not decent, but he's an interesting character anyway.
Decent for, like, the entertainment value.
Yeah, yes, true.
Absolutely. But no, let's kill him.
Yeah,
in a most uneventful way.
Yeah, I mean, I had kind of a moment when Osha came in, because I was going like, oh, this is a person who's actually not that, well, she doesn't seem that afraid of him.
Yeah, she can stand up for herself.
Yeah, and she's gonna like poke some fun at him, like, oh, you're not the worst I've seen. Then he kills her. You know, it's just, why?
Anyone who, like, has the chance of outshining him, he's just like, nope.
Yeah. And I mean, that would have been kind of, well, if maybe not a humanizing anchor, then at least kind of a relationship anchor, because people are so defined about their, like, by their relationships, and he doesn't actually have any human relationships around him anymore. Like, the only people he interacts with are his bannermen, who are just like not interesting either. So it's just like, I am literally at the point where I'm going, whenever Ramsay shows up on the screen, I'm just going like, oh god, not again, why do I have to watch this prick?
He just needs to die, because he's an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. And worse than that, he's a boring asshole.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of assholes.
Yeah, speaking of assholes we don't like, let's talk about Dorne.
Yeah.
You're a greedy bitch, you know that?
What's to say about Dorne? I feel like the less is said about Dorne, kind of the better, because they have not been in this season that much, and
thank God.
It's kind of, yeah, that's kind of like, I'm cool with that, because it's just, it's even worse than it was in the last season, because now they've actually killed off the only two interesting characters in that entire storyline. I mean, Doran and his bodyguard was kind of like the only thing that storyline had been like going for it, and now that they're gone, it's just kind of like, go away. I don't want to watch you anymore. It's like, really, no, I don't want to see this, because this is a fucking train wreck.
Yeah. It's like every time we visit Dorne, it just gets worse.
I know, and you don't think that it can't get any worse than this, but nope, it can get worse, and it probably will get worse. Yeah. So I am very not hopeful about that.
She disgraced her house, her king.
He's torn our family apart.
We should treat them without mercy, and we will. Show them what we do to our enemies.
They haven't done anything wrong, but they're just like, they haven't really hit their stride yet.
No.
We're hoping that it'll build up to some pretty cool action.
Yeah, for sure.
But right now, it's just a little muddy. Tommen hasn't really like come into his own as king. Cersei hasn't really regained the power that she was hoping.
No.
Jaime has like completely gone back into just like being a sidekick.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah. I don't know. He's lost his voice, and that's a real shame.
Yeah, I feel like it's a real shame, because you have this really compelling story arc, which has just kind of been like, kind of dropped on the floor. Yeah. I feel like it seems like they don't actually know what to do with him this storyline, and then he just kind of regressed. But one of the things that I'm actually kind of enjoying watching in King's Landing this season is the whole thing with the sparrows, especially the High Sparrow, because
he's cool.
Yeah, I mean, like he's terrible and a fanatic and stuff, but Jonathan Pryce is just so good at playing kind of malevolent sympathy. Like he's kind of menacing, but then he's like really gentle at the same time. It's a weird dynamic he's got going on there in his character, which I'm really interested in.
Yeah. One of these people that you can't argue with, like you can't reason with him because he's just like completely convinced about his own like enlightenment.
Yeah. He's completely
really creepy.
Yeah, it's really creepy. I mean, he's so convinced that he's right. I mean, like he's trying to manipulate with Tommen, and Tommen is a weak-willed character, so that's pretty easy for him. But then he also tries to manipulate Marjorie, and I really enjoyed the exchange between him and Marjorie in the last in episode 4, because it's just like that was cool. Marjorie is so smart, and I mean Elena is her grandmother, so she's learned from the best.
Exactly.
So I also feel like this has kind of brought back something that I really missed last season, which was kind of the politics of the whole thing, which was one of the things that I really enjoy about Game of Thrones and about the books, is this whole political system and all the political debates going on and some complexity, and we have some of that in Essos as well this season, which is something that I'm kind of psyched about as well. Yeah.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
Politics in Marine is continuing to be a topic in this season, which I kind of enjoy, because it's more politics. I'm always happy when there's more political discussions in Game of Thrones.
Especially when Tyrion is leading the discussion.
Yeah, I mean Tyrion and Varys, as I predicted, they would be the source of some great political bantering, and they have been so far, and I want more of it. But in general, I really like the discussion that is going on about slavery in Marine. I mean, it's kind of superficial because it is a TV show after all, but I enjoy the fact that it's kind of trotted out that it's not a simple issue. I mean, like, change doesn't happen overnight. We can see that very clearly in our world when it comes to slavery. But at the same time, I really enjoyed the fact that Grey Worm and Missandei, who are former slaves, have actually been allowed to comment on that in the last episode, and this episode as well. Maybe not as much, but that they're obviously not happy with Tyrion's decision to negotiate with the Masters.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be either if I had been held a slave. No. It's a little bit easier for him to say, sort of drink in hand and just go, meh, give him another 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, despite having been shit on for being a dwarf, Tyrion has led quite a privileged life. And it seems that he's not kind of entirely acknowledging that, which is kind of an interesting, kind of unsympathetic character trait in Tyrion.
Well, I don't know. I think it's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it was a little bit easy for Daenerys just to go slavery, dead, overnight. I have dragons, they will burn you, the end. Yeah. But that obviously wasn't working.
No, it's true. And I really like the fact that I have no idea where this is gonna go in Marine, because I can't figure out like how much are they taking from the books, and now the Red Priestess have kind of like stepped into the arena. I know, and she's kind of dodgy and creepy as well.
It does make sense though for her to come into the picture with all the fire and dragons.
It's true. And you also have the juxtaposition of one priestess saying that it's Daenerys who is Azor Ahai, the prince that was promised, and Melisandre going, no, it's Jon Snow, so...
Well, Melisandre just sort of backs whatever horse she's closest to, doesn't she?
True. True. And speaking of horses, the Dothraki.
Oh my gosh, I know. That was a pretty cool, like, explosive moment for her.
Explosive, I think, is the right word for it.
Yeah. It was really great to see Daenerys sort of step back into the role of Khaleesi. I really enjoyed seeing that. And I thought she gained a little bit more respect from me, that she had lost being a little passive on the throne for a while. And then not only was she like a badass ruler once again, she also showed a little bit of heart, which was very nice. I like that that her and Jorah finally had their moment.
I'm interested in seeing if they're gonna go with the fact that like they're gonna go with him being cured, or if he's actually gonna die.
I know. I was just about to say. I wonder if he's just sort of gets to go off on his own, and then we assume that he's died alone in a grotto somewhere,
It's
or
true.
whether he comes back victorious, or like whether we actually get to follow him.
It's true. That's
interesting.
I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
But having said that, I'm kind of iffy with the characterization about the Dothraki. I mean, they've always been kind of the barbarians in the story, and they've been very barbaric. Like it was so iffy, the whole way that the Khals were dealt with, in the way that they didn't have any nuance at all.
No.
I was kind of, especially because it would have been a kind of, again, for me, interesting to see some kind of political standoff between Daenerys and the leader Khal. I can't remember his name. Moro something.
Maybe.
Anyway, I mean, I can't even remember his name because he was such a one-dimensional character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for somebody, or like for a whole tradition that's quite regimented, and, you know, like, oh well, this is our tradition, this is our customs and rules and things. They were really quick to just like throw it all out of the window and be like, all right, we'll just fuck the white-haired girl.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Hopefully this with Daenerys having teamed up with the Dothraki is going to be presenting some more interesting Dothraki characters.
Yeah.
I did quite enjoy the old widows.
Yeah.
I kind of like them.
They're kind of cool.
Yeah.
But speaking of like kind of cool women, there's another boss bitch somewhere else.
Yes. Yara and the Iron Islands. Yeah, let's go to the Iron Islands.
Yeah.
Oh well, Arya, but
No.
Arya's kind of boring, so
We're just gonna skip ahead.
Yeah, skip ahead.
The great lords of Westeros pay us no mind until our little raids buzz through their kingdoms long enough to become a nuisance. Then they swat us down.
Yara, yes. She does well over in the Iron Islands. You can tell she's really passionate about her people. And I like that. It's a good move. We haven't really, like, she hasn't had any, like, super defining moments, or, we don't know, like, a whole lot about her, but I feel like she could be really interesting in the future.
Yeah.
And then, of course, her uncle came and fucked everything up for her, because that's what happens in Game of Thrones. No family can work together.
Apparently no.
Yeah, it's a bit like Disney.
Yeah, true.
But he's cool. He's cool. He's also not a great person, like many in Game of Thrones. He's a bastard, but interesting. And he seems to know a lot about the world, know a lot about how the world works. Could be interesting politically. I don't think, like he seemed like he is a guy who likes to use his muscle. Like, let's just build a giant fleet and then we'll win the world. But I feel like he has a few tricks up his sleeves. It'll be interesting.
I feel like the potential political alliance between the Iron Islands and Daenerys is very interesting.
Yeah.
In its implications, especially since the Iron Islands is not exactly the most well-respected part of Westeros. But I think that I'm really liking in terms of, again, politics, is Theon supporting Yara's claim to the throne.
Yes.
And she is your rightful ruler.
We haven't actually seen that, as far as I recall. I can recall in Game of Thrones so far to see kind of a man pushing a woman in front of him in this kind of way.
No.
I mean, we have we have Loras and Marjorie and Jaime and Cersei, who has very...
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like it's like you've got a strong woman for the king.
Yeah,
or like
exactly.
it would always be like second fiddle or like the woman pulling the strings behind, but this is just Yara's like, you know,
front and center.
I'm it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is cool.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I'm really excited to see the dynamic between Theon and Yara being explored further. I mean, they're the only family each of them has got left.
Yeah.
Excepting Euron, who wants to kill them, so like he's not
So
much
he's
of
out of the
family.
game.
Yeah, he's not much of a family member anymore, really.
No. It's good to see Theon developing as well.
Yeah.
Like, he went from being a little bit of a nobody to a huge jackass to Reek, and then he's finally gaining some of like his persona back.
Yeah.
But he's not becoming the Theon that we knew. Like, he's not like, okay, well, now I don't have to live in fear, I can go back to being a jackass. I like that.
Yeah, he's definitely evolving as a character, and I think that's and Alfie Allen is really good this season.
Very talented
as well, especially now that, I mean, cowering, he did that really well, but I feel like mixing it up with a bit of an attempt to redeem himself and being a bit more an authority is cool as well.
Yeah, it works. So we really only have like one place left that we haven't talked about.
True.
And I feel like it's probably the most important. If you've seen season 5
Episode
and the
5.
ending of the, sorry, absolutely, the last episode, the last scene in the last episode.
Yeah,
You all know where I'm talking about.
I should bring in the wine again.
Back to the wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go there.
Yeah, let's talk about Bran.
He heard me.
Maybe he heard the wind.
He heard me.
The past is already written. The ink is dry.
North of the Wall, Bran, it's there's some shit going down, and I feel like for you fellow book readers, if you're as excited as I am about the potential developments going on in Bran's flashbacks. No spoilers. If you do comment, please comment. Hopefully we're gonna get a conclusion for that, but now that Bran is not actually with the three-eyed raven anymore, that's probably gonna close down for a while, so which is annoying.
Yeah.
But having said that, it was cool to finally see Bran doing something other than just having flashbacks, which is gratifying, but at the same time it's kind of like, yes, but we need to get going here as well. Like,
yeah.
We need to have him do stuff. And he did stuff in this. That shit went down in this episode because oh my god.
Christ. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how they go like, it's time. Am I ready? No.
Yeah, that was kind of nope, you're really not ready, but there's nothing we can do about that anymore.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. That was pretty cool, actually.
That was quite funny. But yeah, I mean, Bran just like, he fucked shit up this episode. I don't exactly know how all this shit works, but I had not seen that coming. Like a weird sort of like, time is a flat circle, time traveled back, and then this happens, but it's already happened, and then Hodor.
Yeah.
Hodor. Oh my god.
That was yeah.
Shit.
It was really it was really terrible. Like I felt like completely destroyed. It was just, I mean, we have not had like Jon's death last season was upsetting more than it was sad, really.
It was shocking, but it happened like right towards the end, and then it was like, and then again most people were like, okay, well he's not even really dead.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
But with Hodor there was just like a lot of emotion.
I don't feel like I've been this emotionally affected by Game of Thrones episodes since the Red Wedding, really. It was it was so tragic. Like, that's what you get for working for the Stark family. You get brain damage, and then you get eaten by zombies.
I know. There is, though, I've got to say, there's a little bit of, like, my inner sci-fi geek, I suppose, that really appreciated it. It was almost like a little, like, Doctor Who-esque, because it because it had to do with the time travel aspect, and it had to do like there was a very much like a destiny element to it. Like you felt like Hodor was completing his purpose, and yes, it was sad, and yes, it was horrible, and I feel like they could have gotten around it in any number of ways. But if he had to go, and it had to be explained, the whole sort of Hodor prophecy, then I think it's pretty cool that they went with it.
Yeah, and I also feel like it's a lot less out there than something like Interstellar, something like that as well. It wasn't quite as far-fetched, but that's a whole other discussion. Yeah, this episode really got me kind of psyched for the rest of the season. I mean, if it sets the tone for the rest of it in terms of really just pathos, that's just that's cool.
Yeah. And there's a lot of potential. Like what we've been through today, there are a lot of battles lined up. There's the Bastard Bowl, and there are the Sparrows and King's Landing, and there's the Iron Islands, who's gonna get the fleet, what's going on there. We've got, you know, Bran, is he gonna get away from the army of zombies, or is Hodor sacrificed for nothing? Hopefully not, because that would be terrible. But there are a lot of really cool things lined up. I'm really interested. Like a lot more than I thought I would be at the beginning of this season. As we both expressed vividly in the last video.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a letdown the last season, so I feel like this has definitely gotten a lot better, even though, there's definitely still issues with the show, but it's
room for improvement.
Yeah, but hopefully they can correct some of that before the season is finished.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Here are the 2 big fingers crossed for like 5 amazing episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. So until then, we're gonna be psyched, and probably gonna see you with a season roundup at the end.
We'll keep watching. We know you guys are gonna keep watching. So let's talk about it in a few more weeks.
Yeah, cool. See ya.
Bye.